quasi-state related, but lawmakers are preparing to go back into special session on November 15th. The sole focus will be on redistricting. So this will be a vote on the maps. Spoke with a lot of politicos last weekend at a couple different events. Not much to report, guys. Sorry. Basically, we don't know. We don't know what the final maps are going to look like. Our initial legislative maps were off because our census data was off. Oklahoma did not grow as much as people thought it was going to.
We're open for business.
Yeah, we're open for business. Only in the last 10 years, people were like, maybe not as much.
Okay.
Yeah, because the United States as a whole grew like 7.4%. Oklahoma only grew 5.5%. So we are lagging the nation on growth. Tulsa did not grow as much, honestly. Oh, the big growth counties were Canadian. The biggest growth county was Canadian County. I think it grew like 33% in the last 10 years, which is absurd. So yeah, really the communities around Oklahoma City. In fact, Oklahoma City itself didn't grow all that much.
I think Oklahoma City was like 10.8 and Tulsa was like 10.9. But there's something that Tulsa has a smaller population, right? Like Tulsa would have grown more than 10.9 to Oklahoma City.
And the suburbs around Oklahoma City grew a lot. Like they grew even more. But I'm saying in Oklahoma City, even the growth wasn't as like, it was weird because like the central downtown place where we've invested over the last 25 years, billions of dollars. I mean, parks and stadiums and arenas and streetcars and all this development, and the population basically didn't grow at all, which makes you think about a housing issue. But anyway, that's a discussion for another show that I would love to do. So anyway, what that means though is your maps got to shift to where the people are now. So, going to move northwest in Oklahoma City. We'll see what that looks like. The big question though in this article really just is a good rehash if you want it, is 5th District. We are going to have to see what they do to Stephanie Bice's seat. I am on team. They probably won't mess it up that bad. I don't know why I have that sort of optimism. There is nothing in this state that should give me that kind of optimism, except that our districts are pretty fixed. I mean, like they don't move much each cycle. There's also a lot of political ramifications to moving the boundaries because like some of the more rural congressional districts lost people, so they've actually got to like move in towards the cities more. So it makes 5th District even more compact. So it just seems unlikely that as you make it more compact on the urban areas, which have blued heavily, that you're going to be able to like, I mean, you'd have to do something crazy like crack it,
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking, right? So like the 5th District is basically in the center of the state, right? Covering Oklahoma City and some surrounding areas. Like that's the 5th District. Like, since there was a move towards population shift towards the center, right, you could theoretically think of a way of just like tightening that, so to speak. But that would make it bluer if you tighten.
Right.
In an ideal world, you would like spread it out somehow and include enough of the rural pockets to make it red. Right. But the thing is, motherfuckers, especially like in the southwest and southern counties near Texas, they lost the most population. Right. So it seems like what you have to do is fucking crack it. It seems like what you have to do is like run some, as opposed to having like almost like a perfect square in the middle of the state. You gotta do some serious fucking cracking, right? To like you have to crack it enough to have rural incursions, like, and y'all can see what the fuck I'm doing, but like rural incursions into like southwest part of the metro area, southeast part of the metro area, northeast, northwest part of the metro area, a kind of thing. I don't know if that's possible, but you like that would. If I was a dickhead, that's what I would do. I mean,
here's a map where they have the census gains. So yeah, I mean, Oklahoma County is basically a congressional district, like by itself, like it's almost exactly the population. I mean, I think they say up here how much each congressional district will end up representing. I don't know where it is.
Something like that, like 791,000 residents, I think.
791,000. So yeah, right now Oklahoma County is 796,000. So it's basically a congressional district on its own. And right now, only like the very southern part of Oklahoma County is cut out because Tom Cole wants Tinker Air Force Base in his southwestern district. So in order to meaningfully crack Oklahoma County, which is very dense and highly populated, you'd have to shoot 5th District out, like way out into other people's territory. Because like right now, I mean, I think a lot of the population for like the Northwestern District comes from like Canadian County. So it's like, I just don't know how you do it without like radically changing the district lines. Frank Lucas, I was trying to think of his name. Like, I don't know how you do that, and it would create a bunch of weird constituencies, right? I mean, you'd have like this line along I-40, except around Tinker. I mean, I just don't know how you would do it, because like the Texas, like everyone points to Texas and is like, oh my God, look at these like spiderweb districts and all that. It's like that took Texas like 40 years to do. I mean, it was like they started as blobs, and then each one they got a little further out and a little further out. It's like, I mean, yeah, they'd have to like really start the process of like doing that. And the other issue I think you have in Oklahoma County is it's super segregated. You know, like if you're trying to break up Democratic voters, you kind of have to break the east side or the south side.
You have to, right? Because you gotta crack like major parts of the city and like crack them open.
Right, and you can't do that. That's illegal. And like, you know, the east side of Oklahoma City is still.
That's illegal state or federally? When you say illegal,
federally, I mean, you could be challenged through the Voting Rights Act. Still, I believe.
Of this North Carolina thing, because it would have to be that. It would have to be like this is gonna stop like damn near mid block on the east side, and like, all right, y'all get these non-black voters, and then we gonna start the
Yeah, I mean, or yeah, I mean, you just have to do something crazy, and I just don't think you can do it and keep anyone happy. Like,
so that's my question for you, right? So like, it would have to be again like literally the surgical precision of North Carolina, and I'm using that term purposefully because it was struck down in federal court in North Carolina because they said it divided the races and neighborhoods with surgical precision. It literally went through like I think North Carolina A&T, a black HBCU, right? It would have to be on that level to adequately crack Oklahoma City. My thing though, I don't. They're not above that, like morally, no. Right? But my thing is like, do you think like Tom Cole and them would give a fuck? It's like, all right, man, listen, you still gonna have your seat, but like we gotta. I mean, Mark Wayne. I don't know if Mark Wayne's literate. I don't. But anyway, I don't. But like, do you think the congressional political win? I mean, it's like you still have your seat, Lucas and Cole and company, but like it'll be weird.
I think it's gonna run into some sexism too. Like I think they're just not gonna want to help the lady house member out. Like they're gonna be like, I like my district the way it is. I have to pick up some more voters because I lost population, and I'm gonna move toward you a little bit. And two, there's rumor that like Greg Treat wants to run, who's the current pro tem of the Senate, and so he's like way out at the edge of Oklahoma City, like in Canadian County, I think. And so they can't encroach too far because that'll put him in, you know, Frank Lucas's district. So, I mean, it's like there's just too many egos they have to feed. And Oklahoma County is just a perfect little congressional district. So it's like, you know, like I just think your hands are really tied, and you've kept the districts pretty blocky. So it's like in order to crack it, you'd have to go very extreme.
You have to like legitimately like make serious change. Like districts will look nothing like they look now, right? Like
you'd have to saw Oklahoma County in half and move up, and I mean you just have to do. And if you do that, then 5th District becomes, like I said, it could span like I-40 from like Weatherford to, you know, Shawnee or something, you know what I mean? Like it'd be this like crazy skinny district through the heart of Oklahoma City and pick up, I mean, you know, a bunch of constituencies that it's never picked up, and nobody, I mean, it would just piss everyone off. Thanks for watching our video. Please give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more content. If you want to engage with us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram.